Hi, everybody. So, welcome. You'll notice it's a little bit of a different format today. We have joined by a wonderful performer. His name is Liam Knox, and we're doing a little bit of different. We're doing a live Skype today, so that way we can make things happen. So, yeah, welcome, Liam. We really appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to interview with us. We definitely appreciate it. As always, everybody, make sure like, comment, subscribe. We love everything. So, Liam, again, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, hun. So, I've known you for quite a while. So, but some of our listeners and viewers, they may not know us. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, just country boy from Knoxville, Tennessee. Spent many years there. Then decided to head out to California, and loving it out here. I'm a personal trainer in the adult industry as well, and yes, just kind of everything.
Awesome. So, yeah. So, also, so yeah. Just as people know, or for me as well, I'm from Knoxville. Go Vols. Um, and so with that, yeah, it is. I'm so happy you're here. It's happy to see you because I haven't met. But anyway, how did you get started in the business?
So in the industry, two very good friends of mine were in the industry, um, Dirk Caber and Jesse Jackman. So had just gone through a breakup at the time in San Francisco, being engaged, and thought there was no better time to get into it. So at the time they were working with Titan Studios, and I got introduced to the studio head for Titan, and sat down, talked with them, and it pretty much was a done deal after that. Just went down to one of the centers for the adult industry, at least within in the gay world, and that is Palm Springs. So went down there, filmed my first scene, and after that was assigned to an exclusive contract with them, and the rest, as they say, is cockstry.
So, what is a typical day like on set?
Um, it varies from studio to studio, of course. But speaking from my Titan experience, it's going to be everyone's in a household. There's a camaraderie. You get to meet everyone that's filming. You might not all be filming with each other that day, but that's still fine. You can wait. Um, so you wake up, you'll have breakfast. You might, depending on what your scene's going to be, you might have to take a 20 to 30-minute trip to the shower to make sure everything's prepped and ready. And then you just start your scene. Yes, I know. That's the spick and span. Otherwise, that's no.
Shit
It
happened.
happened.
Exactly. It happens more often than you realize. But you're going through your day. You're, say, taking your still photos in the morning, or in the afternoon. You might break for a little bit. Then you'll go into filming your scene. And then after everything's said and done, as the deed was done, as you would say, then you'll take care of, say, your B-roll, or all the dialogue, the stuff that gets fast forwarded through, pretty much. And I don't want to see that. And then about usually 6 to 7 hours later, for filming a 20-minute scene, that's your typical day.
Some people might appreciate the dialogue
of this.
You
You never
Some
know.
B-roll
We like some B-roll movies.
I can speak to personal experience that one of my friends actually enjoys the story and dialogue, and I'm sitting there going, why aren't you just watching HBO or Showtime then?
What? Exactly.
It's kind of just like
they got
they got
Showtime after
Showtime after
dark. Do
dark.
that.
Do that.
Yes. There's no
Uh,
called softcore, and I'm not here for this. I'm
Oh, that's the softcore.
exactly.
I'm here for the good stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, so I guess that kind of just like leads into my question. Like, how do you prepare for a scene?
So there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. I mean, obviously, there's your daily workouts and training to make sure your physique is up to par. And as far as the script in and of itself, you do actually get a script. So if you have dialogue, you want to sit down and go over it. Then when you get there, you'll go through it with your partner. But before a scene, I actually like to reach out at least to see if they're not going to be a complete dick. Which, I mean, you're there for that anyway.
Right. I'm here for that, but that's not what I'm looking for.
I was going to say, yeah, you're there for the dick, but don't be a dick.
Yes, I want to play with them. I don't want to be with one.
So you'll know who you're partnering with before, like, set, or like.
Yes. So everyone knows beforehand. Usually, it's going to be at least like a couple weeks, maybe even not a month beforehand, when this is all set out. Now, sometimes partners do drop out, or scene partners do drop out, and then you're just sitting there waiting to find out who it's going to be as a last minute change. And that's happened on before as well, where you just arrive and go, "Oh, hi, how are you?"
I'm
well,
good.
Let's do that.
Oh, okay. Have you ever like wanted to like not, engage with somebody?
Where I just want to say, shh, here's a pillow, be quiet. Yes. There may have been one or two instances where that happened, yes. But, I mean, you just get through it and try to be a professional about it as best as possible and going, well, I'm here. Let's do this.
Yeah. So before you get they assign you the partner, do you guys already know each other, or is it most of the time strangers?
Sometimes you know each other, and sometimes you're filming with your friends. So it might be someone you've known for years, and it's just, there's always that awkward thing. Sometimes you're going, oh, we're really close friends. I don't see you that way, but we're still, hi.
We're still getting paid.
Yes. So you do wind up having scenes with your friends and or sometimes just complete strangers. So yeah.
Okay. See, and they kind of make fun of me because like I follow you on Twitter. Because you are a dear friend of mine, I don't see any of your content. I'm like, I can't imagine seeing. I know we've had this conversation where like if we saw each other naked, we basically start giggling at each other. And so I mean, kudos to you. Well.
It's one of those things that you just get used to it, and you wind up becoming very comfortable, or even say unaware that, oh, I'm just walking around the house amongst friends or people that I know with a complete heart on, and you just wind up being unfazed about it. Or I mean, I could be that way walking down the street now. It's like, oh, okay, well, here I am. Hi.
You just get used to it because that's your job.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to say it warps your sense of reality, but it definitely changes your perception of how our society is structured and what norms are, and what restraints we place on ourselves as a society because others tell us we need to do this. But that's a whole different topic.
Gotcha.
Hi, Liam.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Titacular.
Okay, so my question is, have you ever used a fluffer before?
The legend of the fluffer. And I hate to break it to you, but this is a complete legend. It is, yes, it is a porn myth that the fluffer does not exist. That's where your scene partner's there, and you'll help each other out. But as far as modern porn is concerned, there is the wonderful invention of trimix or ED drugs. So you wind up not really needing a fluffer. It's there for hours on end, ready to go.
Okay.
Yes.
Science kills my dream job yet again.
Well, I mean, one of my friends gets this question a lot, and you wind up getting a lot. Can I be the fluffer on set? And it's just, I used to even think the same way. Oh, is there going to be a fluffer, or what's the situation going to be? But you think when you've got your scene partner there, and if they're not able to help the situation out from the get-go, then something wrong. Something really wrong there.
I mean, and well, like playing off of that, if you can, because I know we all want to be professional. Like, what were some of your what was one of your best moments, and possibly if you could go into it, what was some of your worst moments while being on set?
Well, best moments. I will go ahead and name names on this one. One of my most favorite scene partners was Matthew Bosch. Probably one of the most beautiful cocks I've ever seen. And it was just, the scene was flowed. It was, the energy was there. We were done in about 4 hours with this entire scene. That's from still shots to the scene itself. And normally you have to work a little bit to get the money shot, as it were. But in this case, it was, oh no, I need to hold back. I've got to keep it composed so we don't get the scene done too fast. Yes.
Wait, honey, I love you. Bitch, 4 hours?
That's a short scene.
Oh my God. Okay.
Studio.
I mean,
short scene.
Oh my God.
It took 9.5 hours. And you're getting 25 minutes. So there's a lot of work that goes into what you see.
9.5 hours for 25 minutes.
Yes. Now that also qualifies as one of the worst scenes or most challenging scenes I've ever been involved with. I will not name names there, however, to protect certain individuals.
Protect the innocent.
Yeah. And this falls into the category of someone that I had known for a while. And the chemistry was just not there whatsoever. And that's where the job of acting comes into it. You're really acting and making this happen and putting on a show for the camera. So yes.
So has there ever been any I love you moments?
Any too much moments?
No, I love you moments, like where you're really in the mood and you love this person in that moment before it's over.
We'll say that not on camera, but that actually happened maybe once. Yeah, that happened once with someone off camera when you're not filming, and it wasn't even my scene partner. Like, oh wow, this is yes, this is the there. This feels good. Yes, but you can't go all the way because you got to film the next day. So it's like I like.
Bitch, I'm gonna need you to spill the tea whenever we're not recording. I'm gonna tell you right now.
That one lives in another country now, but yes. Yes, you have those moments on set where the chemistry's there, everything works, and it's like, oh, let's go get a camera.
This is good, and I love you right now.
So recently, we've all been kind of going with like the whole, COVID situation, and it's, obviously affected a lot of people and businesses. Has COVID ever affected like your line of work or your work of business?
Well, as far as my personal training, yes, I had to adapt that. But as far as the porn world is concerned, there was a period there where everything pretty much shut down as far as filming with partners, as far as the studios producing work. just as in relation to fan content, you really couldn't or film with anyone. And it wasn't socially acceptable to do anything that wasn't just you either. And that's when you saw the explosion in OnlyFans and the content as far as people doing solo work and trying, and a lot of people turned to OnlyFans as well to pay their bills. I heard a lot of people going, oh, well, they do OnlyFans. And then when COVID hit, about 2 months later, I saw their accounts pop up online.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to go to the grocery store, don't you?
I've always said homelessness is not cute on anybody.
No, it takes a lot of money to look this cheap.
Thank you.
But it really did affect the industry. And in general, I was able to adapt on a personal level, fortunately, quickly enough for COVID. It has also changed, or at least for the time being it did, things within the studio world, so that the testing procedures became a little bit more intensive, as well as protocols for filming or whatnot, to the point that you're taking a COVID test as well as your STI tests before you go into your scene, but you're doing one 48 hours before and another one 24 hours before your scene as well. And then you're, say, on set, you film, and if you're filming again in a day or two, you have to retest again within a day or two. And the camera crew had to test every single day that they were there.
Wow.
So the crew is...
That's kind of like it is on a set.
That's kind of like it is on a set.
Acting set.
Like an acting set.
Yeah. So there's a lot of... I mean, it changed the way we interact and the medical procedure, or at least the safety procedures. The OSHA standards are different now.
Okay, Liam. So, what are your favorite types of scenes?
Oh, well, my favorite types are ones where I get to be fully versatile and wind up getting cast into the top role. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like the word daddy gets thrown around a lot. So I'm comfortable with it.
Yes, daddy!
Yes, daddy!
Can we kind of get like an explanation for a top role for?
I'm fine being a DILF. I'm not to the GILF range yet, though. That's fine. But favorite types of
not to cut you off here. We do have some straight people who are amongst us there. Could you explain the daddy role to our straight listeners?
The daddy role. So daddy role is going to be usually there are two types of daddies. You've got the dominant, assertive, let's say almost a more domineering type. And then you have the nurturing, come here on my shoulder, now I'm going to bend you over and take you to another world that you've never seen before type of daddy. Yes. But daddy is typically someone who's a little older, usually there's the beard that goes along with it, the body hair most typically, just a general, think Tom Selleck from way back in the day with Magnum PI, or maybe Henry Cavill coming out of the water for Superman. That's the daddy image.
Best scene ever. Best scene ever. Emmy Award winning.
It's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't.
So does that help you understand, Daniel?
I was looking down here. So that's more of what it.
Absolutely. God, I love that scene.
Yes.
Now, going back to what our previous question, has there ever been a scene where it was just too much? Like, you met your scene partner, things happened, the moment hits, and you look at it like, oh, fuck.
Normally, the studios are really good about pairing you so that this doesn't happen. I've had the reverse happen, however, with a scene partner. that we were filming and they had an emotional breakdown during the scene where they had to stop. And then studios are really good about this as far as adapting. And this is where movie magic comes into play, is that we had been filming and then all of a sudden they have their breakdown. They're not able to continue. We have to cut the scene. They leave when we're barely halfway through, and then we have to come up with an idea to make the rest of it work. So a sex scene turns into fade to black. That was just a fantasy while someone is masturbating. So that's movie magic for you. So that's where you're making lemonade out of lemons there at the last minute. So that's probably the closest I've had to a too much scene where someone else had reached their limit and they couldn't do it emotionally. I've heard scenes where people, walk in and they weren't quite comfortable. So normally everyone will adapt it around, or at least the studios will, or individually, so that everyone's limits are respected while they're in it. Because there's a documentation process at the very end as well, and that says, were your limits respected? Did you do anything you were uncomfortable with? So that you're covering your bases on the liability aspect as well.
So, with you being a trainer too, do you ever have any of your clients that recognize you?
I have had this happen before, yes. And then I have clients.
And how do you do?
Well, normally most people are respectful, but you do have some people that fetishize and fantasize. And in the cases where one particular case, I've had to let a client go because they started making more references towards this than they should have. And I thought, oh, you actually found me from the get-go and you pursued this in a fantasy fetishization setup. So we're going to end this. And if you need a trainer that's like that, let me direct you to someone that this might be more your speed if you're wanting that to happen. But it happens.
No, because that makes sense. I mean,
go ahead.
They're paying you for a service, like, you're here to train this because that's your time. This is your job.
Right.
It's not. I know that makes sense because it's like, listen, you want to pay for something, it ain't that.
Exactly. I mean, it's granted. I mean, for me, I don't escort. I have lots of friends that do, and that's perfectly fine. It's not my cup of tea. They're happy and successful, and I will throw them clients all day if they come asking me for it. That's fine. Here you go. Let me send you this way. But for me, my services include changing your body, helping your spirit evolve to match that body, and helping you grow as a person into who you want to be on the professional aspect of it. And I guess in a way in porn, you're doing the same thing as well. You're helping serve a need and helping evolve part of who they are by feeding something that they can consume in a safe, healthy environment.
That makes absolute sense. No, it's kind of awesome that you do that.
And is it obviously, as we can all tell, because honey, you're built like a brick shit house. Let's just be honest with it, okay? As much as I love you, like, I know you can bench press me, not a problem. So you're doing something right, okay?
I eat my Cheerios, yes.
A lot of them.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's a lot of bowls
I eat, but not all of them we can say on camera.
So, and one final question, right? And we because we do have people out there who want to get into it and everything, and they may not know how to. How does one who is interested in doing this, getting into the industry, how do they get into it?
So I'm going to say the first thing to do is stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself, right? Then go to these different websites and see, well, here's my body and here are these bodies and these different people's aesthetics, because every studio kind of has this different aesthetic that they like, that they want to go for. And first make the visual assessment of yourself and say, here's who I want to go towards. And then I'm going to say, take the time to just contact and reach out to these studios. I'm not going to push people towards an agent. That way you can say, well, I tried this, and if this is something I want to pursue, then maybe I can look into a talent agency, because there are representatives out there that can do this for you. And if you're willing to give up a portion of what you make, then go that route. Otherwise, if you're going to invest in this and make it either a hobby or a career, you're going to get into it what you want to get out of it, right? With the much as the time that you put into it. So first thing you do is make an assessment of who you are aesthetically. Place yourself within a studio range that you want to go for. Contact them, see where it goes, and then if it goes to filming and you get cast, make the decision: is this something that I am comfortable with? Because it's on film, and in the digital world, it is now permanent. People are going to know. And it's not so much that people are going to, so that you're going to face repercussions. It's going to be that, do you want your friends seeing you do this? Are you comfortable with that? And if so, I say go ahead and do it. If you're able to accept that this is going to be something that you are going to have with you the rest of your life, then go for it. Because it can be a very freeing experience, as long as you accept parts about yourself that you might not be comfortable accepting, and the fact that some people will accept it and some people won't. So if you're strong enough, go for it. Because there's a lot
Absolutely. So yeah, no, that makes sense, because yeah, like I said, we've been getting everybody pumped for this. Pardon the pun. Getting everybody excited about this interview that we were doing with you. Like we've had people like, I'm kind of intrigued by this. What's the process look like? What can we do? Because like of course, like you said earlier, like the OnlyFans like blew up during the COVID thing. So like, that makes sense, where you've got to be mentally prepared. Like you said, it doesn't go away once you turn it off. It's always going to be out there.
Because there's always a screen grab.
Absolutely. There it is.
There's always,
we definitely appreciate it, Ray. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's always going to be a digital record of this. And even if you do OnlyFans, it's going to be out there, is the thing about it. If you delete your OnlyFans, someone will have this saved somewhere. So if you want to go to a corporate level job, just realize this will be out there. And if you're going to do it, then you're afraid that someone's going to recognize you, do it in a mask. Cover up your tattoos. Explore an alternative persona, or something that's completely different from what you would normally do, so that people don't make these connections if you're going to do it that way and want a safe haven to back out of it before. Because this is to back out of it, because it's happened with people that I've filmed with, that they've had to delete stuff entirely because they were up for a job.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, very accurate. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Before we go, Ray, Liam, I apologize for that. Before we go, we know that you're on OnlyFans. We know what you do. Do you want us to give us your OnlyFans, any training websites, anything like that we want to possibly look into, or any of our viewers?
Well,
Twitter, anything like that?
Well, my Twitter is at Liam Knox with 4 X's because I'm just that dirty. And then if you want to, I would love for you to hop on over to my OnlyFans, take a look at that, subscribe to that. It's the same thing, at Liam Knox with 4 X's. And then I'm also listed on Top Fan Vids, which is now the new Netflix of porn, I guess you would say, where you can subscribe and see multiple stars with one subscription price and going in to see all their work that they contribute every month. So you can go and check that out as well.
I did not know that existed. I will be making a purchase this evening.
It is on the new side, but there are multiple stars on it. And Trenton Ducati is actually the one who has started this. Yes.
That's kind of awesome.
A healthcare push into the porn industry that creates a safe environment for everyone within the industry and a nurturing environment. It's Trenton Ducati. So Top Fan Vids, if you want to go check that out, you can see them on Twitter as well, at Top Fan Vids.
Absolutely. We definitely appreciate it. And of course, we will post all of those links in the comments below. So again, we want to thank Liam for taking time out of his busy schedule to interview with us. And like I said, again, don't always forget, we want to make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We want some interactions. And definitely thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you for having me. It's been wonderful.